And welcome back to Jeff Koinange Live. By the way, we need to thank the people at the Serena Hotel for allowing us the space to interview one of Africa's greatest statesmen. He's in town to launch his book in Kenya. It's already selling like hotcakes across the continent. Pick it up. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo's My Watch. Great read. 3-part volume. And I tell you, once you start it, I'm warning you, you won't be able to stop it, because he talks about everything and anything that's happened in this continent for the last 50 plus years. He knows his way around, and he's still working. Does a lot of work for the African Union. He was in Addis last week. It's all about peace and security. This man obviously has his heart and soul right here on the continent. Baba, when you were president, I remember we were in Liberia 2003. You went in there literally to save that country from ripping itself apart. You promised Charles Taylor, you talked honestly, because Charles Taylor was a tough character. You promised him sanctuary in Nigeria, and he did it. He came over, he flew in your plane, stayed there for 3 years, and then one day, boom, I think the Americans must have betrayed you, Baba. What was it?
Well, we must get the facts right. Charles Taylor was duly and properly elected as president of his country. Well, of course, problem arose, and we encouraged the people of Liberia to have dialogue. We brought them to Accra, and they started their dialogue. At the end, they came to the conclusion that for peace to reign, Charles Taylor will have to go. Well, Charles Taylor did not need to go, because he could jolly well have said, yes, I was elected, and I will complete my term as an elected president. But we persuaded him. President Thabo Mbeki, President Chisano, President John Kufuor, and I took it upon myself. Then we had to get the UN security. So I talked to each of the 5 permanent members, and they granted us, because I said, we don't want to do this and then you start harassing us and embarrassing us. And they said, look, do it. So on that note, not only did we get Charles Taylor out, I provided the sanctuary. And I looked for where should I send him to. I thought Calabar was an ideal place. So I sent him to Calabar. And the governor of that state, Donald Duke, took great care of him. Actually, I wasn't the one who went to Liberia to bring him. It was President Thabo Mbeki, President Chisano, and President John Kufuor, who I provided the plane. They went to bring him. I received him. I waited for them in Abuja, received him. And he settled down, and he got into the point that he said, look, I love it here. I don't need to go to Liberia again. What I will want to do is to start farming. I said, good. Talk to your host governor. And he talked to Donald Duke, the governor. Donald Duke said, look, you get all the land that we may need to farm. He said, no, in addition, we want to be trading, buying things and selling and all. I said, look, you feel at home. And then the transitional government in Liberia came to an end, and they had an election, and the President Johnson Sirleaf won the election, and the next thing was the pressure that we should release Charles Taylor. I said, well, Charles Taylor is not really for me to be released. If he is a Liberian, and if any time Liberia wants him, I will tell him that. So I got a letter from the democratically elected president of Liberia, of course, instigated by the Americans, who promised some form of money. And then the letter came, and I took the letter personally to Charles Taylor. I said, look, I have always maintained that if there's a democratically elected president of your country that says he wants you, well, you have to make the decision. So here is the letter, your president wants you. He said, yeah, my president wants me. I said, yes. And then you have to decide how you go home. I'm going to America. I was on my way to America when I heard that
he tried to escape and they arrested him. But the Americans let you down, Baba. They they gave you their word.
They gave me their word. But I must say this. One man, when he's not in government, who maintained that I was let down. And indeed, not I, Africa was let down, was Colin Powell, who said, yes, he, on behalf of America, gave the assurance. And this is not right. And I said, it's not only is it not right, it will make it difficult for us in Africa to be able to conduct foreign policy. Because how can I go to any leader or any African leader, will go to any other African leader and say, do this, because the international community have consulted with them. They have said, look, there will be no problem, do it.
Yeah. Did you feel let down?
I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because you see, if we say we want to have African solutions to African problems, and this is one, and then when we get that, a particular solution, an African solution, and you frustrate it, then we may not be able to implement an African solution next time.
Yeah. You think the West still undermines us this way? You think they still, they still play these games with us?
Yeah, of course. Look at the situation in Libya. Libya is in a mess now, a complete mess. The AU said they have a blueprint, a roadmap. Let us implement our roadmap. And they said, no, your roadmap is not our roadmap. We will go in and do it. What have we got in our hand? Boko Haram is an indirect feed from the situation in Libya. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, you have to understand what really happened in Libya. Even the people who went in for a revolution, supported by NATO and America and all that, they did not expect what happened. And what did they find? They find militia, different tribes, armed to the teeth. They find cities rising against cities, armed to the teeth. And they find a situation where nobody is really in control except arms, guns everywhere. And it is outflow of those guns that had led to Mali, and that had indirectly moved into the hands of Boko Haram.
And we don't see this, the rest of us, we don't see this? Or are we powerless?
Well, I believe, as I have said at the beginning of Boko Haram, you see, you cannot fight insurgency without intelligence. And the intelligence must be national, within your own country. Among your neighbors, you must have good intelligence. Within the region, West African region, now including Central Africa. And those who have knowledge, who can give you, in a letter which you find in my book, which I wrote to President Jonathan more than about 3 years ago, I raised this point that, look, fighting insurgency without good intelligence is like boxing blindfolded. You won't know where you will be throwing your hand in the air.
Good point. Good point. Coming back to your book, Mr. President, the highest point of your presidency. What was the highest point?
Well, I believe being able to pay that debt. You know, we were spending $3.5 billion every year
to service it.
Service debt. And the quantum of debt was not going down. To be able to get that done. When I came in 2003, in 1999 rather, it was one of the things that I believe. I believe strongly that we have to achieve this. Otherwise, there will be no end to it. And then I went round, to leaders. They say, oh yeah, you have a good case. We will be able to help you. And I had my first term. All I heard from leaders is, you had a good case. But do something to help me with the good case. Not enough. So I decided, okay, let me do the political at the highest level. Let me look for somebody who will be doing what I call the technical at the level of ministers and director generals. So I brought in Ngozi, who is technically competent. Of course, he's not a perfect human being. Nobody is. So while I was doing talking to presidents and heads of government, I would say, look, you follow this, you do this, you move on this. And
the debt was cancelled. Incredible. Lowest point.
I wish I had got enough money to do a lot on power. When we came in, the price of oil was about $9. When we were able to get it to $22, we were really, really happy. And then, but at that, within that period, I tried all international oil companies, please invest in power. Mobil that gave a sort of hope, didn't do anything in the end. Agip did something in a place called Lopai, I think, about 350 megawatts, but 350 megawatts, well, better than nothing. Now, when we got money, which was about 2005, we then went for massive, whereby we use the gas, and then instead of taking the gas to where we will produce the energy, we actually produce energy at the point of gas and through pylon, we take it out. We had a program. That program started. We've ordered 18 turbines from GE. We've done all that, and the civil works started. And my successor came and reversed it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Would you have wanted a third term? I know you had sought it.
No. Really, I said it in this book. I will get it all in this book. I didn't want a third term. It was the campaign of those who think that I was staying there even for too long, who wanted me to have one term. And while the first term was going on, they were playing the game. Oh, you must do Mandela. No, but as I've said in this book, now one of the most difficult things for me to get is the debt relief, because Nigeria was an oil-producing country.
Imagine $32 billion.
Yeah, and we got that. So if I had wanted third term,
yes,
I would have got it. And I said it in this book.
Yes, if you had wanted a third term,
I would have got it.
You keep doing what you do, Baba, and I keep asking myself, why do you keep doing it? You're all over the country. You're working harder than people half your age. It's still flying to capitals we can't even pronounce. Why do you keep doing it?
Well, my philosophy is life is short. Jeff, if you live 100 years, the first 25 years of your life is preparation to live. You are going to school, you are learning, and all that. By the time you are putting 50 years, you are 75. Then you are becoming weakened and all that. So what you really have is that period from when you are a man, trained, prepared, to the period when you are becoming feeble. So whatever you can put into that period, put it into it.
Do you ever get tired?
Not really.
Frustrated?
Well, occasionally I don't get what I want, but I keep on plugging on.
At the end of the day, is there a lot of hope on the continent?
Oh yes, look at what has been happening in since the beginning of this century. Economists wrote us off as a continent, a hopeless continent. Now Africa rising.
Imagine that.
Imagine that, Africa rising. And more than 2/3 of our countries, about 3/4 of our countries are making more than 5% DP growth. Of course, we still have problem because DP growth does not entirely lead to employment. It doesn't. We still have problem of unemployment. We have problem of governance that we have been talking about, corruption, but when you take it all in all, there's hope for Africa.
Worst case scenario, March 28th elections in Nigeria. What's the worst case scenario? Military takeover? Is that possible?
Well, worst case scenario would be the president deciding that he won't hand over no matter what happens, and he will go for broke.
Best case?
Best case, election, free, fair, transparent, credible, and whoever wins takes over, and we celebrate. And that means moving along and moving forward and moving upward in our democratic dispensation.
And you still believe God is a Nigerian?
God, of course, is a Nigerian. What are you talking about? He only visits Kenya occasionally. I believe he's here now.
Baba, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and good luck with the book. It's a great read.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
What a man. What a general. You need to pick up this book, My Watch, by former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. It's a trilogy, 3-part series. The soft copy goes for 7,500 shillings. The hard copy, 10,000 shillings. It's well worth it. This is for you, your kids, and your kids' kids, because it's about the history of our great continent from a great man. What a man, Baba. As always, thank you so much. Thanks for watching Jeff Koinange Live tonight. It was a special sit-down with a great Africa, and it's good to see that these people here still have so much faith in this continent. Keep watching, keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is Obasanjo. Tomorrow night, same place, same time, right here on Kenya's television network, KTN. Thanks for watching. Good night. Good luck. Baba.